Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. This is your weekly reading where we are going to be giving you all of the energy updates, everything you need to know about the energy this week. And the things that I'm feeling in the energy, I'm going to help you to understand the things that you're feeling in the energy. I'm going to help you to understand the things that are happening in your world this week. And we are going to wrap it all up with a tarot card pull to build upon the messages that I've already connected with. So, as I'm feeling into this week's energy, I want to just prepare you for that because right now I think we're kind of I'm filming this today. Today is Tuesday, is it the 30th? Okay. So today's Tuesday the 30th, but and we're starting to move into this full moon energy that is coming up on the 2nd. And I think right now, I think today overall, like we're feeling pretty strong. I think there is this energy of us reflecting back on the past year. And I feel as though right now in this energy, we're doing that more than we typically do. And it makes sense. I think we're reflecting on the past year. I think we're reflecting on the past many years. And maybe you're even finding that there are things that are happening that are triggering you to think about old things, to reflect, to process old things, even just like memories that are coming up for us. There's a lot. And part of why I think that is that we are closing out in numerology, what is a 9 year. So that is all about endings, closing things out, and it's closing out a 9 year cycle. So you might even be reflecting back on these past 9 years, not even intentionally, but it's just kind of happening for us. But I feel like today there's a little bit of a strength in that, a little bit of a celebration in terms of how far we've come and everything that we've learned, everything that we've developed within ourselves. And I hope that you guys are celebrating yourself today. I hope that you are celebrating yourself as we're closing out this year and you're recognizing the work that you've done, the way that you've changed, the way that you've allowed yourself to flow with where things are leading you. A lot has probably changed in your life over the past year, but definitely over the past 9 years. We are not the same people that we were. Hi, Erin. It's so nice to see you here live. So I feel like today there's this beautiful little sweet spot of celebrating and enjoying. And I hope that you lean into that. I hope that you embrace it. And I hope that you celebrate yourself and everything that you've accomplished. Because I think tomorrow even we're already starting to move into that. We're really going to start to feel this full moon energy kicking in. And I think we're going to feel it throughout most of this week. So you may find yourself feeling increasingly more and more emotional. You may find that even as you're celebrating, that celebration might feel emotional, right? It might be happy tears. It might be happy emotions. I think when I say emotional, it doesn't always have to be heavy emotions or challenging emotions. It can be positive emotions too. But I want you to prepare yourself for what I expect is going to feel like quite an emotional roller coaster, especially on the day of the full moon, which is going to be on the 2nd. So just keep that in mind, okay? And make sure that you're taking time in this to focus on yourself, to focus on what it is that you're needing, to focus on your self-care, but also to focus on your self-nurturing. We have this full moon in Cancer, and Cancer energy to me is about nurturing. And so we may find ourselves nurturing other people, but also receiving nurturing from other people, but most importantly, nurturing ourselves. Because when we learn how to self regulate, take care of ourselves, when we know how to nurture ourselves, when we're feeling emotional, when we're working through heavy, hard, challenging things, this is a very powerful position to be in because you know that you have the ability always to show up for yourself. You have the ability to always show up in a way that is not going to be disappointing to us, right? And it's very difficult to say that about other people. And certainly, we're social creatures and we want other people to support us and we want to give support to other people as well. I'm not suggesting that we don't support one another or receive that social support. I think some people, especially, really part of the tools that they have in their coping skill bag are connected with processing things with other people and stuff like that. I think there's a lot of value in that, but I'm also saying put some value into that self nurturing and explore, how might I nurture myself a little bit more as I'm navigating this energy? Now, if you're having a hard time, I will have a full moon energy session up in my membership. It is very powerful. I've already recorded it. It's very powerful and it's meant to be a respite amongst all of this energy. So keep that in mind. Check that out, claritybykirsty.com, and join us there. There's that. And I have a reading for the whole year of 2026 and a reading of what to expect for the month of January in 2026. So I'm going to help you to understand all of it in a more in-depth way. But coming back to this concept of self-nurturing, it's really asking yourself what it is that you need and providing that to yourself. It's tuning in with that inner child within us and asking that inner child, what do you need right now? Or what is being stirred up for you right now? Because I think part of what we're meant to understand around this week, around this full moon energy, as we start to unpack, we're going to be unpacking a lot of baggage this week, okay? And it's meant for us to unpack it and leave that shit behind so that we don't bring that into a new year with us, especially as we get into the new year, the Chinese New Year that begins in February, because that's a very powerful shift. We're shifting into the year of the fire horse. That's going to be a really powerful shift. And January is kind of that bridge between the two. So this is that time to continue to close out cycles. It's this time to give to ourselves and to give ourselves what we're needing in order to help us to cope with the things that we've been navigating. There's been a lot of difficult, challenging things that we've been navigating. And so taking a little time, this might even be a New Year's Eve that you don't go out. You might be feeling that pull, right? You might be feeling really overwhelmed by the energy, or maybe you don't, right? Maybe you want to go out and you want to have fun and just enjoy the people in your world. It's about what you individually need. And I want you to notice the things that are coming to the surface, because these things that are coming to the surface are giving us this opportunity to tie up loose ends, to recognize our truth, to recognize the truth, to recognize what we need to understand in order to move into this new year with clarity and to begin this new year with clarity. So we're still in this energy. I've been talking for the past month about all of these truths that are coming to the surface. And some of them have been really challenging truths, really difficult things to process. But I said in a post, and I think I said this last week in the reading, but what I want you to do with these difficult truths is I want you to swallow that bitter pill and let it be your medicine, right? There is a healing in it. There is a freedom in it if you allow it to be. So allowing this process to just happen. I think there's going to be a lot of reviewing. And again, not all of it is bad. A lot of it can be this nostalgia, this appreciation for things that we've had. I'm noticing myself, it's like appreciating the really high highs and some really beautiful things that have happened, and also processing some really difficult things that have happened, and just kind of making sense of all of that, packaging it up so that I can leave behind the things that need to be left behind. And I think we're all kind of there. The other thing that I heard is that now is the time for us to become the answer to our own prayers, meaning that we become our own hero. We become the person that we want to become now. We're stepping into that, right? And so taking a little time to process as well, how do I become the version of myself that has all of the things that I want? And this may require us, we're in Capricorn season. Capricorn season is beautiful for identifying goals, identifying steps to work toward our goals. And so I think this is a really amazing time for us to take a look at that and say, okay, so if this version of myself that I'm looking to become has all of the things that I desire, what are some of the steps that I'm feeling called to take in order to get me there? What are some of the changes that I'm feeling called to make to get there? And I'm very strongly feeling here in this week, I saw a scale and I saw the scale tipping. And on one side, the was our comfort zone and our maybe fear or our desire to remain within a comfort zone or to remain in what's known. It's not really a comfort zone, but it's what we know, it's what we're used to. And then over here is the desire for change. And I saw the scale tipping where finally we're ready to let go of the fear. Finally, that desire for change, that desire for different, that frustration with our own bullshit, that awareness of what needs to be different, and that push against our back from God, from the universe to like begin to take steps in that direction. You're going to be feeling that this week as well. And I think a lot of it is going to come through some discomfort, but we are almost there. 2026 energetically looks a lot better, especially as we get into like late February, March. Okay. But this is like that last bit that we're doing. And I think it's so important. It's like there's this new need to not just be open to what wants to be different, what needs to be different, but this need to embrace the change, to embrace what needs to be different, what wants to be different, and to embrace where the flow is leading us. I think we've been working on detachment in the past month, detaching from specific outcomes, detaching from trying to control things and needing things to be a specific way. And I think we're getting better at it. And as we detach, the blessings start to come in. The awareness starts to come in. And you may find this week that part of your truth is this recognition that you didn't know what was best for you at all, that you didn't know what outcome was truly best for you. And so I think like part of us this week, like we're starting to just like let that go and just say, okay, like maybe I don't know what's best for me, or maybe I'm fighting for something that truly isn't really what's best for me. Maybe God knows something that I don't. And so I'm going to surrender it. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to be willing to see where the flow takes me. And I want you to still be intentional. I want you to put those intentions out there. I want you to put your orders in with the universe, but I also want you to be very open to letting this play out the way that it is meant to, because I promise you it's better. And it might even be exactly what you're wanting, right? I think a lot is manifesting right now. And certainly as we move into the new year, a lot will be manifesting. So there's good things here. But if you're trying to control it, if you're trying to hold on to it too tightly, you can get yourself caught up in that. So let the emotions flow through you. Don't even try to control the emotions, right? Let yourself cry, let yourself feel it. Maybe let yourself feel angry. We do want to kind of be careful around this moon in terms of how we're communicating with other people, because I think like there's a real possibility that we could get very emotional and say and do some things that we'll regret. So check yourself before you wreck yourself a little bit, okay? And be mindful about that. But all in all, I think we want to just allow ourselves to go with the flow and to be in this place of true detachment where we're not checking on things again and again, where we're not over and over and over again begging God to have certain things happen for us. Instead, I want you to put your intention out there like the God or the goddess that you are, like the God spark that you have within you. And then I want you to trust that it's already done. This or something better, right? That's the caveat. This or something better, because I think there's a lot of things that will come in that are something better or an improved version of what it is that you're asking for. But if we're not in the flow and we're not allowing it and we're so focused on one specific outcome, you're going to block your blessings. And we don't want to see that. So take a little time to be intentional, but also know that it's already done, and do your best to stop trying to like mess with the energy and check it and check with other people and have them validate that for you just as best you can. I know this is hard, but trust, okay? I was pulling a card, an oracle card for the collective. I also will do the tarot cards, but I did pull an oracle card, and it's interesting. It's the same card that I pulled for the year in my membership, and it's the Phoenix card. It's the transmutation card. It's the Phoenix rising from the ashes. Let yourself rise. We've been through a lot. We've worked through a lot. We've done a lot of work. Let yourself rise. Let it move forward. Let it develop. Let it happen, and let it flow. But I think we have a lot to look forward to. But let's look at the cards and see what the cards have to say too. Hi, sis. First card out, 3 of Swords. Yeah, we're working through some shit. We're working through some emotions. We're maybe crying. We're maybe healing. We're maybe reflecting on heartbreak. But again, this is like that development of us and showing us what needs to change, what needs to be different. Are you kidding me? Next card up, the Tower. I'll go through. Let me pull all of these and then I'll talk about what they mean. That's crazy. The 5 of Swords. This is, get your coping skills ready, okay? The Hermit in reverse. The 4 of Wands. Oh, I guess these want to come together. The 4 of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so let's talk about it. 3 of Swords. Healing after heartbreak, reflecting on heartbreak, feeling pain, feeling it to heal it, essentially. And look at how interesting, like she has that full moon behind her. She's crying. She's got her mascara running down her face. But notice the butterflies here. There's a metamorphosis that's happening. There's a processing that is allowing for healing, that is allowing the energy to shift. And when this energy shifts for us, you're going to notice your outside world reflecting that. Things are just going to naturally reflect changes for the better. So know that, okay? And speaking of that, the Tower. We might experience major shifts, or we might be reflecting on the major shifts that we already have experienced. I feel like we're kind of in this place of continuing to close out what needs to be closed out. So there might be some more to that this week. There might be some moments where you're like, oh my God, like this is a lot. This is a lot. And it might feel like some things are happening to you. Some things are really challenging. Some things are really scary, because the Tower sometimes can be certain things in our world like seemingly falling apart. But the Tower doesn't fall to punish us or to put us through a hard time, it falls because it wasn't built on a solid foundation to begin with. It falls so that we can rebuild in a way that's better, that's more sturdy, that's more solid. I don't want you to fight with whatever is wanting to be cleared out of your life, what already has been cleared, what wants to be cleared this week, this month. Trust the process. Trust that it's happening for you. Trust that the events that are happening for you. And it's an opportunity as well to unpack this baggage. Again, I'm picturing like us taking things out and moving forward with a lighter bag as we step into the new year. And this is part of the journey. This is part of the process. And what's so interesting to me with this particular card is like this woman here. It's almost like we see this lightning striking, and I don't know how well you guys can see this card, but she's chained up, right? And we're watching these walls fall and this lightning take out these chain because she's setting herself free, or the universe is doing it for her. God is doing it for her. And the woman inside, while her crown is there another crown? What's happening? That's interesting. Like, so it looks like there's a crown falling off her head, but she also has a crown underneath it. Like, it's revealing who she really is helping her to connect with her own power. It's helping her to become the powerful version of herself. So you may find that you didn't realize how stuck you were until something changed. You didn't realize how uncomfortable you were with a comfort zone until it changed, until you got the call to make a change. But this may be happening whether you choose it or not, right? Like there's just shift. So my point is to just trust the process that is happening, because this is you becoming this version of yourself that has all of the things that you want. You've been putting your intentions out there, and this is part of that process, right? Sometimes things have to look worse before they look better, because what you're asking for is not what you currently have. And so things have to change and things have to shift in order to get you there. Okay. So then we have the 5 of Swords. This is truth, and truth coming to the surface. And specifically, it can be truth about some form of deception. It might be a better understanding about deception. It might be seeing people for who they are, seeing circumstances for what they are. And it might take your breath away at first. It might be like, oh my gosh, right? I've had over the past month some truths come to the surface that I'm just like, wow, like I didn't see that coming at all. And that wasn't at all what I thought it was. But here we are. And knowing again that this is happening for us, right? Like we see in this card image, we have this person over here who's crying, but then we have this person over here. And I feel like part of this is like about us stepping into that power and taking our life into our own hands. What does that say there? I can't read it. I don't know what it says. It says like these little tiny words on it, but maybe I don't need to see that. But maybe it's interesting. I'm noticing things in these cards that I've never noticed before. And so I always say that what happens as part in a reading is part of the reading, right? So we might be noticing things that we never noticed before, noticing things about people that we never noticed before. And they might not be positive things. They might not be good things, but they're showing us what we need to see. All of this energy together is giving me that energy of that quote that says, a lot of things may have broken my heart, but they fixed my vision. Okay. So again, trust the process and let yourself be shown what it is that you need to see. We may also not have new circumstances where that's happening, but we might be reflecting back on ways that people have done us dirty, ways that people have done us wrong, ways that circumstances have not worked out the way that we wanted them to. But again, this is all about us unpacking the baggage so that we don't carry it with us, okay? The Hermit card in reverse. Yes, we're reflecting around this full moon. Yes, we are connecting with it. We even have the full moon here again in this card with the hermit, like looking up at the moon, helping us to understand and to see the light and to know what it is that we need to see. But we might not quite get it just this week. Okay. We might not quite have everything be illuminated for us this week, but we're getting there. We're getting closer. This may also mean that we're finally ready to come out of a period of time. If you've been hermiting pretty hard lately, it might be time to come out of that. Yeah. So Keister for you saying, oh, so ready to unpack that baggage and start fresh. Yeah, it is a fresh year. I think that this year really will feel like that. Again, more so when we get into February, but especially March, but still, like there's big stuff happening. Watch my yearly reading in the membership. You guys are going to be like, wow, like there's just, it's incredible the way that things are coming together. And I want you to approach it like that. It's incredible the way that things are coming together for me. In fact, put that in the comments. It's incredible the way that things are coming together for me. Even if you don't believe that yet, that's the affirmation. It's incredible the way that things are coming together for me. That's exactly what this energy is. And we might not get it this week, or we might get it this week, but I do see as we're getting a little bit further out into this energy, as we move out of this full moon, we start to feel a little bit lighter, and we start to understand in part why some things had to happen the way that they did. Four of Wands. Because what we're connecting with now is the people, places, and things that bring that stability into our life that we can rely on, that we can trust, that we know belong here as we move forward. We're building a solid foundation. And this to me is that energy of celebrating the way that things are coming together, whether it's relationships coming together, whether it's opportunities coming together, whatever the circumstances are, it's incredible the way that things are coming together for us. And this Four of Wands really shows me that. It feels like home. It feels like us feeling really supported by the universe. So I don't think that we have to go too far to feel the energy of that as well, or to understand that it is happening for us. I also see us becoming the answer to our own prayers, right? And starting to figure out, okay, like if I want to be this version of myself, if I want to have all these things, what choices do I need to make that are going to help to get me there? We're going to give some of that to God as well, some of that to-do list to God as well, but we're also going to figure out, like, what do I need to do? And we're going to start to work on it this week. I feel that. And I would start to work on that this week. I would hit the ground running in some ways. Ace of Pentacles, new, stable beginnings, right? This can be some kind of a surprise coming in the form of money, something material, but it just could be something showing up in your world that you're really, really grateful for. The Ace of Pentacles is also the planting of a new seed that grows into a really beautiful garden. And so I see us putting that effort in that is going to grow. And I see us leaning into the new things that are showing up. I think if we can get out of the way and go with the flow, you're going to find that gifts and blessings are showing up into your experience. That just keeps coming up in the readings. Maybe you're already seeing it. I know I am. And it's every time, by the way, that comes in, it's on a day that I feel more detached, that I'm not trying to say, this is what I want and this is how it needs to be. And I'm not trying to fight against the flow of where the energy is going. And then I'm like, oh, like that's pretty cool. And there have been like just these surprising things that I didn't expect at all, but here they are. And it's great. And that to me is the vibe. Keister for you is saying I've been hermiting a lot and getting annoyed when I have to do things. Yeah, I mean, same. I think it's been an emotional year. I think it's been a lot. And I think like part of what we're all really needing is to just like take care of ourselves. And so I want you to do that around the full moon. You don't have to push yourself. You'll know when it's time to come out of that hermit mode. Okay. You'll know when you're ready. You'll know when it's time. And just take that time to honor yourself. This is about honoring ourselves. And this is about really tipping that scale, allowing that scale to tip so that we can shift into these changes that have been wanting to come in for a long time. It's going to be a new year. We have the planets, like all of the planets shifting back into their new signs that we got a little preview of in 2025. It's a fresh start. It's a new journey. And so I want you to lean into that. I think it's going to be a really powerful thing. And I want you to take extra good care of yourself around this full moon as you're navigating all of that. Okay. Use your tools. If you need tools, if you need support, I have all of that up in my membership. Or I believe I actually have a couple of sessions available next week as well. So if there's something that you need, let me know. If you guys made it all the way to the end, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around. Please like this video, share this video. There are people, these are important messages. There are people who need to hear these messages, and it also helps to support the channel. So thank you so much. However you feel called to interact with this is really helpful, and it helps me to connect with your energy for future readings as well. I love you all. I hope that you have an amazing closing to your year, and Happy New Year, because we shift into the new year this week. So Happy New Year. I hope you have an amazing beginning to your new year. I hope that you see the blessings coming in already, and I think we have a lot to look forward to. So I can't wait to see it. I love you guys. Bye.